I'm going to show you how to draw this squirrel with checkers.
For our member of enjoyingart.com, I'm looking forward to seeing you in our fun and relaxing Friday painting together. If this is your first time to our channel, it's all about making art easy with relaxation. Push like, share, subscribe, and turn on notification. This squirrel has multiple shapes. I want you to think as different shapes composed together. The first thing when you are drawing anything, I want you to simplify the shape. So when you see the whole thing, that's the shape of the whole item. I want you to think about, do you want this so big? Okay, this include the tail, include the head, include the body. How close on this side? You can very easily changing it with very little effort. I'm going to move it, I'm going to leave a little bit space on the right hand side. Alright, if this is your decision, and the next thing you would like to do, you're going to divide it into different portions. Now, let's take a look. And if the end over here, the front of the head right over here, how does that look like in the proportion? I'm going to put a little bit less than half on this side. That is the tail, right? And then on this point, so also a little bit less than half. Wow! In that case, I'm going to put a little bit more toward this side. So a little bit off this side. And that is kind of half of the half. That's the head. Right? Can you see that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow, you're always thinking about something simple. And now I'm going to say the left side, the end over here, I'm going to put the head over here. And then I'm going to put half from here to here, half over here. Alright, and that's the half, which is the quarter of the whole. And now you can see, and a little bit off this side, this is the back over here, right? Coming up this way. Here you go. You can see that is just like a whole oval shape. You see that? That's the whole oval shape, like the body over here, right? And the head is another kind of similar to the oval shape, like over here. See that? That's very interesting, right? And then have the arm coming up over here. And this is the... So you see that it's a little bit more general, simple shape. Here you go. And then the tail on this side, like that, and coming all the way here. Can you relate to that? Make it a little simple. See how the big shapes connected together. Now after you drew this, I'm gonna thinking about, am I doing something wrong? Can I change it? Can I improve it? If you look at my paper, what do you think? I want to move the whole thing a little bit lower. You may be thinking about, oh, is that too late? It's not late. You drew all those just to give you a better visual, so you can make a better decision. Is that right? So, how I'm going to do that? First, I'm going to use the paper towel. I'm just going to soften it. Lower it. How low it? Yeah, like this, and come down like a ½ inch. Now this is easy. Just everything ½ inch coming down. Right? And now look at it again. If this is what you want, the sooner that you discover what you really want, is the better off and save more time later. Right? Now you're thinking about it, oh, is that good? So be a little patient for yourself, or be a little nice to yourself. Okay? And then something over here like that, and over here. Now just give a little bit more time to think about, this is really, really exactly what you want. before you go any further. For blending, I use my finger. I'm going to soften this a little bit. Make it a little bit softer. That's alright. I'm going to remove some mark on the ground over here. I'm going to working out the big contrast. So I use the wine charcoal again. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to make the whole thing a little bit darker, including the tail over here, a little bit darker. Okay, give it a little bit, but don't press it too hard. Okay, you press it too hard, you're going to create unnecessary hassle for yourself. I'm going to make the head a little bit forward. You got like that, get a better shape. And then the arm, and then the hand. I'm just going to shade the whole space, make it a little bit darker. Now come back here and use my finger to blend it, to make it a little bit smoother. And now take a look at it again. Is this what I want? If anything excess charcoal, you can let it go. I'm just using my finger, kind of like pushing the charcoal into the paper. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm also going to give it a little bit to the surrounding. I'm going to put a little bit over here. I'm also give it a little bit soft, like represent the shadow of the snow. I'm going to give it a little bit over here in the surrounding. A little bit in the back too. Okay. Now I'm going to use the paper towel. Here you go. I'm going to make it a little bit, let go some of them. Use the kneaded eraser. I'm just going to take out the lighter shape of the snow and keep the shadow on the paper represent that is the shadow of the snow. And over here a little bit less. And the front over here, I'm gonna start looking for the shape. The shape just lighter and darker shape. You don't want to erase everything. You want to leave some. So make it feel like it's the ice, the snow. Right? A little bit over here. See the light side. Just pick up part of it. You very much is drawing the snow. I'm going to use the medium charcoal pencil. And I'm going to put a little bit over here. When you draw, keep a little relaxed, okay? Like that. And start adding a little bit. You don't want to have the charcoal dark colors everywhere. Okay, start from the intermediate color and get a little bit more and more, darker and darker, clear and clear a little bit later. Okay, coming over here in the back over here. So just give it a little bit relax. Okay, just draw relaxing. So I'm gonna have a little line like that. And now you can show it. Oh, this is how easy to make the hair. Right? Like going toward the direction. Going toward the direction. Like that. And coming on this side, I can see the hair. You see that? I'm not giving unnecessary charcoal mark. I don't want to make it too dark. Right? I'm going to coming up like this. Here you go. It's very soft. Like that. Here you go. Now add some texture represented for the tail. Okay, like that. Interesting. We just strengthen the foundation. We're still going to create a lighter hair as another layer in front of this. Okay, now I'm gonna come up over here. Right, I'm gonna have a little bit showing the texture of the fur. Like that, and going toward coming over here to the bottom. Alright, now we come to the head. The ear a little bit darker than the head, so just draw the head first. Okay, coming this angle. You see how light I hold my pencil and touching onto the paper. At this point, can you ignore the ears? Just pretend you don't see the ear. You see that? Very soft. Some members talk about that, oh, the charcoal is difficult to use. I don't see any way you can say it's difficult to use. I think you push it too hard. The way they handle the charcoal is to compress it too much. So like that. And the arm, the first arm over here in the front, like this direction. So see that how soft that you can handle the charcoal, really soft. Because the previous step when we use the wine charcoal, we already set the simple gray foundation color very well. And now we just add some texture to it, right? And now coming over here, I think the middle body over here, like that, and also draw the simple line for the full texture. Okay, now bottom over here, a little bit softer, a little bit darker. We also need to pay attention to how the form represented by the light and shadow. Okay, keep coming down over here, like that. When you apply the charcoals really softly, you can also erase those. Okay, now I see the other arm on the other side. Also see over here. Right, now we see the head. I'm gonna come here. See, there's the mouth. Right over here. Now I'm gonna see the eye, and the beginning of the eye, I think it's halfway from here to the top. And it's very much, like maybe a little bit lower than that. Just draw a really soft shape. Just look like a little bit like a seed kind of shape, little oval shape, like that. Don't draw too much in it. I'm going to shade the whole thing a little bit darker, because even the highlight is still a little gray color. And then underneath, it just have a little bit darker. We're going to make it clear later, okay? Like that. Okay. Have some facial hair. And the top over here look a little bit darker. So I'm going to draw the motion of the hair moving. Like that. Here you go. Now I'm going to add the ear. Right. Just take a look at this ear. Right here. Right. Take a look at whether or not it's in the right place. This ear is actually a little bit darker than the fur. And on this side, this ear coming over here. Like that. Now I'm going to lift up some light shape. Here you go. If you're not pressing the charcoal and the blender to the paper too much, it's very easy for you to lift it up. Okay, that's good. Now that's good. Have a little light shape around the eye. And also see a little light shape over here too. That's good. And underneath over here, I have some light short here. And take a look in the ear. Now I'm going to lift up a little light shape over here. See that? That's good. It's not always using the charcoal or the pencil to create details. We are creating detail by give it some dark shape and a light shape. The dark shape using charcoal, the light shape using the kneaded eraser. Okay, like that. Okay, that's good. And on the top over here, on this side, also have a little light shape. Now it's good. Now I'm gonna come into to give it some little details for the fingers, also a little bit lighter. Okay, that's good. Now I'm gonna have some lift up a little shape for the hair over here. Now every time when I do that, I keep remolding the eraser. See, this a little mark is represent a lot of information. Okay, that's good. Like that, that's good. All right, that already adding some interesting details. I'm gonna add a little bit over here too in the body. Just look for the shapes. Don't think about that here they are squirrel and then that will be distraction. It's not gonna help. You're either looking for shapes. Okay, now I'm gonna try to give some details to the tails over here to see if I can lift up something. Oh, I can lift up the shape. See that? See a little light shape? I can give another layer of light shape, light hair on top of this. Just one little stroke at a time. It actually giving you lots of information. You see that? How beautiful. You don't have to do a lot. You just add a little few shapes, looking for it, observe. You need more time to observe, spend more time. Wow, that's good. And on top over here too, I'm gonna add a few. I keep stretching, keep remolding the kneaded eraser. Here you go. Now that's good. Now the next thing I need to do is to come in toward a soft charcoal pencil. I'm going to use the soft charcoal pencil. I'm going to add some darker detail. Right? I'm going to look into the eye. Here you go. Like that. Here you go. There's a little bit shadow over here. Look at the reflection of someone. Okay, on this side. Here you go. Like that. You don't have to define too early. You can define that a little bit later step, right? You want to focus on more of the bigger transition or the bigger relationship. Now the eye is beautiful, isn't it? And then coming into the ear over here can be a little bit darker, a little bit clear. On this, I have a little bit more shadow. But I don't think you need to have a soft charcoal pencil. I'm going to use a hard charcoal pencil. And I'm going to keep it a little bit lighter. Also a little bit more clear too. Oh, that's good. Alright, now I'm going to give it a few details. So add a few those darker line. So I keep rotating my charcoal pencil. Okay, and then I'm going to have some here on the top over here. There you go, like that. Now come to the front over here. I'm going to give some detail of the mouth. Okay. And then on the nose here, a little bit darker. Take a look at the shape of the forehead. Okay, a few here over here. Now I'm going to come into to give a little bit more, a few more details on the arm, and also give a few darker line. Now you can see the mouth over here also have a little shadow, so I'm going to shade it a little bit darker. Also on the nose, on the mouth. Now take a look at the fingers. There you go, like that. That's good. Now I'm gonna try to separate the two arms. One is the front, one is in the back, right? So how I'm gonna do that? I'm gonna have to use the charcoal pencil and the eraser, and a little bit softer on the other side. But first, I'm gonna keep adding a little bit loose here, the full edge. Now I'm going to use the kneaded eraser. Now I'm going to have this a little bit lighter, a little bit, because still in the shadow, but I'm going to keep a little bit lighter over here. Now, so with that a little thing, it really showing the front and the back, like that. That's good. That's good. All right. I'm going to use the blender. I'm also going to shape it a little bit, like that. Okay, now I'm going to come down to the front over here, and I'm going to have this a little bit softer. Use my finger to blur there a little bit. I want to get the feeling of the actually a very soft edges, so I can even use the eraser to also show it some soft here. And now I'm gonna give it a little bit. There you go, some very soft. Now that's how we give the details. And be careful, not just adding the details. You also need to be aware of the form. how the form is showing. What's the front, what's the back, how the body curve. Those also are very, very important. I'm going to use a medium charcoal pencil. Now I'm going to take a look at the bottom over here. It's very important. I'm going to have this showing the shadow underneath. Like that. Okay, I need to make this a little bit higher. Have this eyes, this snow eyes, a little bit higher like that. Keep a little bit different. Okay, now that's good. Make it a little bit softer. Now come back to the tail over here. I'm going to use the hard charcoal pencil because I need to define things a little bit easier. So I can painting around the light shape. I'm drawing around the light shape. Okay, like that. There you go. Now I'm going to give a little more emphasis. Like that. It's magic already, huh? Yeah. This is amazing. With the simple charcoal and eraser, right? You know, if you see them as how to use the line, the shape, and the visual elements, how you turn it into how you represent. And I'm gonna make it a little bit softer. I don't want to draw it too hard, okay? A little bit softer, like that. And the people would, based on the visual elements that you created, based on your observation, your understanding, and there's the medium that is just the reason the people sense it and saying, oh, that's what it is. Okay. And then is the end of the tail. Use softly, okay? You don't have to draw too hard. I'm going to come back to use the kneaded eraser to enforce some of the simple light shape. Like that. That's good. A little bit over here too. Okay. Okay, that's good. Now I'm going to add some seed. I'm going to use the medium charcoal pencil. I'm going to take a look at here. So again, if it's not necessary, don't press it too hard. If you make it too hard, it may be too dark. So you can add the darker color a little bit later, and it's easier to add the darker color a little bit later. So in the distance, I'm going to make it a little bit softer by having your fingers or the blender to make it a little bit. Have some seed over here. I'm going to have a little bit more at the front over here. Okay, I'm going to make a little bit, make it softer. I want to see as a group. And now I'm gonna come back here to take a look at, there's a piece of rock over here. And I want to make that a little bit more gray. And softly make a little bit, there's a little, I think it's the eyes or the rock. And have a little bit darker at the bottom. It's very easy to represent that by having it, make it three-dimensional. Now I'm gonna use the darker color, make a feel a little bit more clear. You go, like that. Okay, and put a few line in the front. Represent that is some little closer objects. Okay, let's see. And let's take the back over here. We need to add a little clear connection. Yeah, and I'm gonna make it a little bit softer. If you want to have a little bit more clear details, you want to use the hard charcoal pencil. If you use soft, it doesn't really give you that clear suggestions. Like the hair, you want to make it a little bit more clear. You need to use the hard charcoal pencil. Like that. And take a look at around the eye. Now I'm going to give some clear suggestions to the whisker. Now here you go. Now I'm going to have it look at the direction. One, like this, and here you go. Look at the whole direction where it's going to. Like that. On this side. Here you go.